Hey, good Monday morning. It is the Dev Talk Show nearing the end of March, March 30th, 2026. If you're here joining us, welcome. And if you are watching sometime in the future, then on YouTube, then let us know how we did in the comments. I'm here joined by my co-host Rich Ross. How are you this Monday morning?
Doing well, Chris. How are you? It's been a good weekend, eh?
Yeah, it's a good weekend. It's was a little warmer when I stepped outside this morning, so it's like, okay, maybe we're getting to some semblance of spring.
It's if you look at the forecast this week, we're jumping right from spring straight into the early parts of summer where it's gonna
Yeah.
be like 80s. So,
Yeah. All right. So that means it's already time to fire up the grill in the backyard, right?
that's kind of, the cover's coming off this week at some point for sure.
So, hey, if you've been following along on the show, we have been spending a bit of time implementing a pizza chat ordering agent that has its own MCP server tools in order to order pizza from a existing web API that might be the API of a pizza chain of stores in order for you to order pizza from anywhere. But what's been really cool is we've been able to conversationally chat with this agent just in a console app. And then we even last time we were preparing to show it us talking to an avatar with text-to-speech capabilities using this microphone right in front of me. And we had some trouble, but instead we were able to use, I believe, the talking avatar demo from the Cognitive Services SDK. I don't remember if that one came up for us or not live. I just don't remember now, but it's a pretty good demo. So
we did run into a little bit of issue at the end. But I know you were able to get it working afterwards with a little bit. Yeah.
I did. And so the thing that I'm not sure about is we were even trying to figure it out live. I'm not sure about is that I had so many console windows, background tasks that were open. And I'm not 100% sure what the culprit was, but it really was one of those cases where just a clean reboot seemed to solve a lot of problems. It's not something I really do a whole lot. So that's why it wasn't necessarily something I arrived on. But we can take a look. I mean, I suppose we should just see very quickly if we can get a pizza, quote unquote, ordered. And then we can talk through code and implementation options and all of that. So let me get this up on screen here. And there we are. And move us over to the left, right. We'll do this for just a second. So if you're unfamiliar with our pizza dashboard, this is a app built with the Blazor web app template and using some interactive server components. On the right here, we have orders that I have placed using this API. And the reason is because it's filtered by a user ID. So if you follow the PizzaBot ordering sample that was presented, you can build, you use a website that they expose, but you have to register for this user ID. And I think the only reason that that's really done is just to limit. First of all, I think it kind of limits just bots hitting it, and it also allows you to only see the orders you place instead of, because if I take this out, there are other people that try this sample all the time, which is fine. It's not that big a deal. So I'm going to click start here. I probably should have done that already. And we are using, let's see, we're using a lot of different services here, but in the Foundry portal, we looked at this a little bit last time, right? .azure.com. Did this start? Is that my imagination that it didn't start? That the start button did not. Click. Okay. All right. It's working on it. So this is not the portal. Oh, I know why it's not, because it's not. Well, first of all, our avatar is up, which is great news. Okay. Maybe we can go look at some of the background in a second. So this is our application. We have a sitting avatar. waiting for us to talk. She's being very patient. You can see kind of nodding, waiting for us. I'm going to hit the speak button, and then that should activate my microphone, and we should be able to have a conversation to order some pizza. Hi, what kind of things can you help me with?
I can help you order pizzas, check menus, track your order, and even recommend how many pizzas you might need for a group. If you need info about our stores, I can help with that too. How can I assist you today?
No, I want to double check that came through.
Yeah, no, I heard that fine.
Okay, you heard her talk. Okay, so I believe that means the audience should have too. Now I muted myself. I should be able to click speak again to talk again. So let's try this. Let's say we're ordering pizza. Well, Scooter's back over there. We're ordering pizza for a theater company or something like that. I need to order pizza for the theater company. There were 12 performers, and they all have light appetites. How much pizza do you think we need? So I wasn't sure if my stop mic worked correctly. And it may not be.
Yeah.
So let's try this again real quick. I wasn't sure if my stop mic correctly held the conversation. And so it's possible that while the video avatar was still functioning. All right. Hi there. I need to order pizza for 12 theater performers who just finished their show and have a light appetite. How much pizza do I need?
That is odd.
Yeah, I agree. Of course, I'm just curious, like when we go live, why it seems to struggle.
I mean, some of my voice is showing up in there. So it doesn't look like it's hearing me.
I don't think so. It's definitely hearing me. We can tell that for sure.
Yep.
I'm restarting the app, but I've noticed that the app seems to struggle when we go live. And then otherwise, we've had plenty of sessions talking to this thing.
Yeah. But it is odd that when you did whatever it was to start off with, you could hear the voice of the avatar.
Right. Well, she wasn't. The avatar was definitely not speaking on the other round. So, hi there. I need to order some pizza.
Great. Let's get started. Do you know which store you'll be ordering from, or should I assume it's San Francisco?
San Francisco will be fine. I think I need 2 margarita pizzas and 3 pepperoni pizzas for the theater performers.
We have margarita and pepperoni pizzas on the menu. Here's how your order looks. 2 margarita pizzas, 3 pepperoni pizzas. Would you like any extra toppings with that?
No, that'll be fine. Let's place the order.
Your order is placed. The total is $66, and it should be ready for pickup at 12:23 p.m. San Francisco time. Any other questions?
No, thanks. That was great.
You're welcome. Enjoy the pizza. If you need anything else, just let me know.
All right. There it is. So that all worked. Woohoo! I think obviously anybody would be concerned with it feeling touchy, like, oh, when you demo it, it feels touchy. I will say that I think the 2 things that I've noticed is now that we're live and streaming, that some of the transcription was weird. Like there was some weirdness to some of it where it, like for example, right here.
I've seen that a lot too. It loses the P's.
Okay. But then here's the interesting thing. Take a look at this.
Yeah.
That all came out fine. Now, there's a lot of things at play here. This, besides the Voice Live API, there's also a Foundry agent. So, and there's text to speech, and that's the Blazor app is getting back what it thinks the speech is.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm not 100% sure about is that what's being transcribed here is happening client side.
Yes.
But that doesn't necessarily mean the agent, even if the agent got this text, the agent very well may have corrected it and said, oh, you mean theater performers. You don't mean theater performers. So when I place the order with the API, I'll correct that. And in fact, we can even see that it capital T, capital P. So it wasn't like it just took whatever it thought you sent and just went, okay, whatever, I'm good. It was able to figure out that this must have meant pepperoni. And clearly it got the margarita transcription correct. So that's my belief of why we're seeing that. That doesn't mean that this stuff is disconnected. It just means that, what's being transcribed here is being sent across. I'm assuming that it's being delivered to the agent, just like when we were typing in previous video shows. And the agent was smart enough, because I do it all the time. I mistype something to the agent, and the agent's like, it's fine. I gotcha. Don't worry.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to, so then what I'm trying to play through is, we know there's two parts, right? We know there's the speech to text part. And then we know that that text comes back down to your code, and then your code sends that text off to the LLM to do the rest of the stuff. And my guess is, and it's been a while since I've seen the code, but it feels like the text that comes back from speech to text is what's winding up in the window, and that what comes back from the LLM is when things get a little more fixed. So if you look at the, where it says theater performers there for orders, that's coming from the LLM, not from what you said being translated.
Yep. That's what I think too.
Okay. Now that's what we're looking at here is Voice Live, which isn't what we're using right now.
Well, this particular one was. So this this code is not up in GitHub yet, but I have 2 endpoints working. I'll show in the code.
Okay.
This was the attempt to try to use Voice Live.
Okay.
And that's what we went with this morning.
All right.
So let's take a look at how our system works.
Yep. So take back what I just said.
Yeah.
It is one endpoint.
Yeah. So I have a home page. The home page is the one we were originally working with. And then Voice Live was like, let's do a parallel implementation with the Voice Live API.
Gotcha.
And so here's the Voice Live API. I still have some work to do to make this I think there's more commonality than there isn't. But a lot of times prototyping, it's kind of like, well, let me just make a copy so I don't mess anything up in the previous one. And it's like, oh, hold on. I think this could have all been, in fact, I really do believe that there's no reason that there should be 2 pages with 2 sets of components. I could see having 2 endpoints to route to, like, oh, the page is Voice Live, but then from here down, it's the exact same page, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I can get to that. But this is the other implementation, and this is the one that you have seen originally. And it's a lot more, as you can even see, there's more to it. There's a lot more endpoints that you have to hook up, and it does a lot more too. For example, let's find there's the cart panel is fine, but let me see, the avatar controls are here. And then there's some JavaScript that I think we could do more Blazor-like. I don't necessarily think that has to be JavaScript, but it's one of those things where it was like, well, where are the services? Here are the services. Okay, so let's look at in order to do this, the best way I can describe it is sort of like a roll your own in a orchestration where you have JavaScript code talking over the WebSocket you obtain to send transcribed speech to your backend, which then calls the agent. So that's why you see all these different services. Okay, so there's a service just to go obtain a speech token. That's all this does. We're not, by the way, this is not Voice Live, by the way, right? So cognitive services, STS.
Oh, okay.
Right. So this particular implementation is not Voice Live. We did not, this is not the one that we reviewed. But what I kind of want to show is how here is sort of you do the work, you do the orchestration. So we need a speech token. Then there's a separate Foundry agent service. Why is there this service? Because the client endpoint isn't going to be able to take that transcribed speech and call Foundry directly. Mm-hmm. So instead, it comes to this back end for front end that sends the message off, run conversation turn from the Foundry and agent service. This is all our code. And this is managing the responses API in order to keep that turn alive, to keep this multi-turn conversation alive in your web app. And it's managing all of this. It even manages that if the agent asks for the function call, mm-hmm. it manages doing that. So this is not necessarily like the really cool agent framework implementation where it was just like one line of code, you don't have to think about it. I'm kind of would like to get back to that. So I think that's possible. I think we can get back to just something leaner and leaner. But in any case, so we have that. And then, whereas when it comes to okay, so let's see, what have we talked about? We've talked about speech to text happening client side, sending it off to the LLM. That's being managed by the web application in this particular implementation. Okay. And then the response comes back from the agent, and this manages that, and then eventually sends it to the avatar service to say, okay, now make the avatar say this. Right? Let's see if we can find after send message, run conversation turn. Okay, so run conversation turn. Let's see what calls this, because this is where, if I remember correctly, the fun part happens. Return run conversation turn. Okay, so handle user query is part of avatar controller. Okay. And avatar controller is at its heart, avatar controller is a web API, but it's internal for the app. So the JavaScript can call API speak, it can call stop speaking, it can call continue speaking, it can call chat to basically say, okay, you know, let me see, speak with Q, or you can cut you off, like the client-side code can call the API to cut off and say, hey, stop talking. Tell the avatar to stop talking because I started talking again. Right. And then here's where the internal JavaScript or basically says like, hey, go have the avatar speak something, right? You're handling all of this though. And this was the initial implementation that you saw working. We didn't get it working on the show. That was what the plan last time would have been, this implementation. So just so you can see real quick, this app, if I take out the /voice live, I get a whole different, I mean, it's similar looking, but different page. And this is the implementation where all the orchestration is being handled in the web app. Voice Live, which I know you encouraged me to look at, in Voice Live, that API is more integrated. It provides out of the box very quickly speech to speech experiences, the whole speech to speech scenario. But there's even the quick start here that we were able to expand on, saying, hey, how do you do a quick start? How do you do a voice agent with a Foundry agent? Mm-hmm. right? Oh, I picked the new one, the classic one. I didn't pick the new one. Sorry. So how do you use Voice Live with the Foundry agent service? And that's perfect because now we just use the agent ID and all the settings are handled in the API. So we don't necessarily have to do a lot of the orchestration. Obviously, you know, the agent is handling talking to the LLM and figuring out what tools to call. We're getting all of that. And I think this is going to end up being less code, but I still think there's a little bit more work to do. Like another thing you don't have to do is Voice Live is fully managed, right? So you don't have to worry about what audio model should I deploy.
Right.
It just all works. There is a sample that you can walk through in the Voice Live samples. And is this the sample that we showed several shows back when you were talking?
I think that was the one. Yeah. The
Okay.
voice universal system, though, sounds like it might be new.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, they have a nice examination here. Way to show it, right? Is you're going to need a front end. For us, this happens to be Blazor. You're going to have a WebSocket. You're going to have some kind of backend server, and the backend server is what's talking to the Voice Live SDK, right?
Yes.
So,
yeah, the only reason I think that's new is because if you look at the code, they did make some changes to that.
Yeah.
Previously there when we did it.
Yeah. I might run through it and we can run through it here and try to see what we can slim down. But the difference in VoiceLive.Razor, the one that we actually use, is, you know, after you get through all of this, there is some, I think this can be converted to Blazor type events, move mouse up and so on. Okay. But basically there's a Voice Live JS that's handling everything. And I think there's no way to get rid of having client-side code here. What I want to do is figure out, if you're familiar with Blazor, there are many libraries that sort of get Blazorified, and they use the JavaScript interop, build a NuGet package, and then instead of having to go get, for example, like you don't go get something, a common JavaScript library, you get the NuGet package and it does the JavaScript interaction for you. I am not super familiar with that process yet, so I'm not sure if we can turn a lot of this into that kind of code so that there doesn't have to be so much JavaScript here. I mean, and I'm not against JavaScript or anything. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm just curious if there's like a more idiomatic Blazor way. Okay, so
yeah, I'm kind of pausing on that because when we showed it last time, we were doing a console app. There was no front end.
Oh yeah,
the output from the console.
Yeah, and you can see how much simpler a console app is because, I mean, everything was just self-contained. We weren't speaking to it, but if we were speaking to it, it would still all be self-contained.
Yeah.
Here, no matter what, there is going to be some client-side interaction, and there's going to be some server-side interaction. Like that's going to happen, and they're even showing like, look, you need a backend to manage this. Like you need a backend for your front end. Yeah. What I want to know is, can I make it more idiomatic for a Blazor app?
Okay.
So in any case, the Voice Live session service is really not that long. So this is actually using the Voice Live API, as you can tell up here. And the purpose of this is creating a Voice Live session. And then what it does is it manages one Voice Live client. And why do you need this? Because if this was deployed on the web, you might use it, I might use it, someone else might use it, and we need those conversations and to remain separate, all that management to be separate. So what the setup though is mostly just configuration, which is kind of cool. It's, hey, I need a new Voice Live client. Here's the endpoint, and we're still using the default Azure credential, which means I'm logged in using AZ login. We create a session. You could take out this entire option section if you wanted to. The defaults will work fine. And then now you look, if you take out that whole option section, the code is really, there's not much to it.
Right.
it's just this. It's configure, a little bit of configuration, configure the session target.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, you can use agent session config, which again, agent session config is in the Voice Live SDK. So, and then after that, start the session. The
Right.
trick here is that you need to keep coming back to this client. And so when we look at how it's set up here, this is the program CS, right? So this is the whole Blazor app. And one of the things that it has is a singleton voice live session service so that it can manage that. But we are also exposing a WebSocket endpoint for to be called back into, so the browser audio can come in, and then we can like fire events back out. So this is sort of like implementing a little shim that then can handle not only using the service or creating a service or handling what's come back on the WebSocket. So besides a Voice Live session handler, there's also this Voice Live WebSocket handler that we were briefly looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically, it knows how to do different tasks. It's like, well, I can create a session. I can send an event off to Voice Live, whether the event is like update the conversation or update the response audio and stuff like that. What did the browser just send me? If the browser's firing off an event to the WebSocket, like, hey, here's some audio, then it's a fair amount of code, though. That's the thing. So I'm kind of hoping to streamline it. Although I also don't know the difference between what a production app needs versus like a streamlined sample.
Right.
So I mean, I'm still learning a lot here. I think, we both are. We have not looked at this implementation yet, which was the fully orchestrated piece. I'll be curious to see if Lisa comes back up. And it should be easy, though, to change avatars. That's something else we can take a quick peek at. Yeah.
That should all be in the settings.
Right. That's all been abstracted out into settings. So if it fires up, actually, while that's firing up, let's get to, I can't do it from that one, though. I need, yeah. So this is the browser profile with our pizza bot. Oh, look, it's like, hey, you haven't signed in, even though I have.
So I got a question once you get to a point.
Okay. Oh, look, she's ready to go. Okay, so this is not the implementation we used earlier.
This is the straight up.
This is the you manage it all. You instantiate speech to text. You fire it off. You send that to the agent. You manage the response. It's kind of what Voice Live, I think, is intending to replace.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look. I haven't like had a direct conversation with the Foundry team, but I think I'm correct in saying Voice Live it's more of a product of I'm a service of Foundry. Voice Live is, where the other pieces are, look, these are cognitive services, AI services. I mean, speech to text, use speech to text. You don't necessarily need to create a Foundry agent. Just knock yourself out. But it's all on you.
Right.
Okay, so let's try seeing if we can order some quick pizza.
Second part of that, I agree with. The first part is it's just a Foundry model. That's all. It's nothing fancy that Foundry has implemented. It is just that you basically deployed the real-time, I believe it's called the GPT real-time models. And that's what essentially Voice Live uses.
All right. Hi, I'd like to order some pizza.
Great. What's your name? Also, do you have a specific location you're ordering from, or should we go with San Francisco? Then we can start with the pizza options.
What other locations are on the West Coast of the US?
On the west coast of the US, you can order from Contoso Pizza locations in San Francisco and Seattle. Would you like to order from one of these locations?
Yes, let's order from Seattle. What are the specials in the Seattle location?
In Seattle, you can enjoy unique pizza creations like the Rainier Mushroom Medley and the Salmon and Spruce Tip. Perfect for a local taste. Ready to place an order?
Sure, I'm going to place an order. I need 2 pepperoni pizzas, 1 barbecue chicken pizza, and 3 Bianca pizzas.
Your order for Seattle is all set. You'll have 2 pepperoni pizzas, 1 barbecue chicken pizza, and 3 Bianca pizzas. The total is $83.50, and they should be ready for pickup in about 9 minutes. Anything else you need?
No, thank you. That was great.
You're welcome. If you need anything else in the future, feel free to reach out. Enjoy your pizza.
All right, so pretty cool.
So this is talking to the pizza bot foundry agent that we created.
Yeah. So we actually declare, you actually give the agent name, the Contoso Pizza Bot, which is the one we've done the most work with.
Right.
So that's what that sample is doing. However, when you go into the Foundry portal now, you can, we built, like, I can message the agent from here. This would be just like me talking to Lisa, except saying like, hi, I'd like to order some pizza. Like, when you really think about it, all that's happening is the speech is being converted to text and then sent to the agent, just like this, just like I'm doing here. I say that's all that it's doing, as if
right. But in this one, even if you were to talk to it, well,
Yeah.
you can't. You don't have a microphone,
Right.
But it's using the GPT-4o model, which is a text-to-text model.
That's right.
Okay.
All of this was deployed. It was really just taking that particular path, is saying, I've got an agent that I could have had a text conversation with, but instead we are going to make that conversation happy by listening to you on the mic, transcribing it to text, sending it to the agent, getting the answer from the round trip, going back to the avatar APIs and saying, I want you to say something, because that can be shown here. Let's see, it's in models, it's in AI services. So text to speech avatar. This is the text to speech avatar. But what's really happening is when the answer comes back, when the agent's response comes back, it would be just as if you ran here really quickly and said, great, your order is placed and it is $83.50, something like that, right? When you click generate here, this takes a little bit longer than it takes in the web app. And my belief is because you're going to see I get a full scrubbable video clip out of this instead of a streamed video.
Yeah.
I think the streaming just starts quicker. So that it took a second to produce that 4-second video, and now I can click it.
Great. Your order is placed, and it is $83.50.
Right. So that's cool. And then I could even download this video if I wanted to.
Right.
Now,
and have a collection of them that they wind up responding with.
Right. Right. That's exactly it. And so, like, let's see who else we can use here. I would like to create our own avatar at some point. Like, I really would. So I wonder, well, for example, photo avatar. I don't know if it would work today. I'm not 100% sure that it will. So I don't necessarily want to. Can I use, like, if I don't want this to be too complicated. Who can I take? So let's try this one. Let's save this. And then let's take a look at the code, because what I want to know is if, see, it still says Lisa and graceful sitting. I'm not sure how I can get the avatar. Maybe I'll just change it to like Harry casual, because then I think we can get this right.
I think so.
Yeah. So Voice Live is one of these AI services that you can test out with. So I can go to Voice Live, and when you're here, the experience is a little bit different. Here, I have to say add to agent, and I pick Contoso Pizza Bot. Otherwise, I get this generic experience. So I'm going to pick Contoso Pizza Bot. Okay, now I've added it. Let me think. I'm trying to remember what you do next, because if I want to actually use it to test in here, I don't know if I have to go back. Oh, voice mode. Switch the agent to a voice first experience. I think this is what you're talking about, where we could kind of use code from this to create a phone-based type service, right?
Yes.
Let's pick like Andrew. And I don't know if I really need advanced settings. Oh, and then look, I can throw in the avatar too,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So let's just kind of, this is everything working from here, and it should be our pizza bot. So I should be able to say, hi there, I would like to order some pizza. Can you help me with that?
Of course. I'd love to help you with your pizza order. Do you have a specific pizza in mind, or would you like to hear about our menu options? Also, can I have your name?
So it's asking all the same questions that we've instructed it to. Get the name, right? Okay, so yeah, this order is for Scooter, and Scooter would like 1 buffalo chicken pizza. Can you order that?
Great, Scooter. Your buffalo chicken pizza is on its way. It'll be ready for pickup in about 5 minutes. The total price is $15.50. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
I just wanted to mute that first. So as you can see, that all did everything that our web app did, except here in the playground. And because we have this cool dashboard that lets us monitor the back end, we can see that it was ordered. So, you know, I mean, it's a fair amount of code. But the interesting part to me is like taking that next step and saying, okay, we can see the conversation, everything is pretty cool. But you know, you can test all this out in the playground. You can get code, you can make changes to settings. I want to see if we can change. I don't necessarily want to save the agent yet, because I'm not sure exactly what that'll do, but I want to see if real quick, if I can change to a different agent. So Harry and casual is a different one. Let me shut this down. I want to double check. I don't believe we're going to have any issues with secrets. I just want to double check. So let me go to app settings. Okay, fine. Here's where I'm not 100% sure. So there's a different voice, right? So it's not just switching to Harry, I think. Because I think Harry will speak with Ava's voice. Oh, actually, it's different. It's different. So I think we could say Harry casual. But see, voice live, I'm not sure if the voice is going to change.
Yeah, I believe the text-to-speech voice is the setting you need to modify.
Yeah, I just want to see. Oh, this isn't what I wanted. Sorry, not trying to jump around. But I want to go to text-to-speech, and that's fine. And then voice Ava. I was hoping it would be a little bit more. I wonder if I can just say Andrew. Because what I don't know is what I need this. Oh, good. The speech key is there. That's great. I'm going to have to remove that later. I'll have to change that key out now. I didn't realize that that was going to be. Well, if the voice is the same, the voice is the same. That's okay. I just want to see if we can get a different character up.
Okay.
I guess that doesn't matter which implementation we use. I did all that work to try to hide keys.
Yeah.
Now I got to go figure out where those keys are and if I can rotate them. I think they're in the Azure portal. I don't necessarily think they're in the Foundry portal. So yeah, I guess as a recap, okay, well, we did change the avatar. I don't know if the voice has changed because this particular implementation, we're managing everything.
Yeah.
Although in the Voice Live one, it could still be the same thing because in Voice Live, you're saying, hey, you go manage it, but here's what I want.
Right.
Hi there. What kind of things can you help me with?
I can help you with ordering pizzas, checking our menu, tracking your order status, and answering questions about our stores like locations and opening hours. Anything specific you'd like to know or do today?
Yes, I'd like to order from the Seattle store.
Great choice. Contoso Pizza in Seattle is located at 123 Pike Street, Seattle, Washington, 98101. They are open Monday to Friday 11, 0 a.m. to 10, 0 p.m., and Saturday to Sunday 12.
So I'm glad it answered that way because I wanted to show this. This isn't a bad answer. It's just more information than I wanted.
Okay.
So I feel like this is us going back to instructions and saying, I was really thinking about this, saying when, I don't know if it just starts to get overwhelming of, I would rather the answer was Contoso Pizza in Seattle is located at, I'm fine with the address. I would even be fine if it just said is located on 123 Pike Street and just stopped.
Right.
And then just give me today's hours.
Yeah.
Now, if the customer asks for more, fine. But it's just, I just want you to just say they're open today, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. What else? What else would you like to order from here or something like that? And so I don't know if this is just continuing to build up instructions. I've tried really hard to get this avatar to not lay things out the way that would be helpful in text, but feel weird in speech. For example, when it used to list menu pizza options, when we were doing this in text and it would say 1 pepperoni, 2 Bianca, 3, like that was fine.
Right.
But it's weird when the avatar is like, here are some pizza options. 1 pepperoni pizza, a spicy pepperoni pizza. Like it just feels wrong. So I went to the instructions and I said, you are a voice agent. You will be so everything should be conversational text. Don't list things out in numbered lists. And I had to fight with it a little bit, I think.
Sure.
I'm trying to figure out, like, do you just keep improving it here? Or is there other ways to train it? Like, are there ways to train it with sample responses that the agent would grab more readily? Like, oh, they probably want this answer in this form based on the question.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a templating kind of thing.
Yeah. And then the evaluations part that we've talked about previously would be kind of, okay, now we can use the, oh, did I accidentally close it? I hope I didn't. I might have. Now we can use the evaluations part to have it automatically test responses, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did that one time where it evaluated whether it thought the answer was complete, whether it was, I suppose all those tests could be built up.
Right.
But as we sit right now, the Contoso Pizza bot says things like, no, because I could not get it to do it. Make sure your answers will sound great when delivered by voice. That didn't really do it. Or read like a chat message or customer. You know what? I think maybe I messed this up. I should have said not read like a chat message or customer service email. That's probably a mistake there. Then I'm like, no one wants to read a numbered list out loud.
Very true.
Maybe this is what I meant to say, and I was just not thinking. No one wants to hear a numbered list out loud. And then I suppose, another guideline here could be, because this is all in Markdown, right, is look, see, I don't even know how it interprets this. But I'm just going to try asking real quick. Let's just try saying like, hi there, I would like to order from the Washington, D.C. store. What can you tell me about it? I have no idea if it'll honor anything I just said. Because I think like the fun part is like, see, it closed. Actually, yeah, it looks like it did, right? Contoso Pizza in Washington, D.C. is located, only gave the address. It is open today. It only gave the today. So, okay. And then it told us the source, which is nice. And now I'm going to ask the other questions and say like, so what are its operating hours for the whole week? And let's see if it'll listen to my second part where it's like, well, if the customer specifically asks, then you're good. But I would not be thrilled with it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that would read okay. Maybe that would read okay. So that's the trick, right? Am I right in thinking like we're kind of massaging it to the answer that we want it to be?
We are, and we're trying to do it this way. I can't help but think that there's a way to inject a template.
Yeah.
And say, this is, when somebody's asking about what's on the menu, this is how you respond.
Exactly. And so we are sort of getting that in a way from the file search, because the file search has just got these markdown files for each store. Yeah. That's it. Bang, bang, bang. I'm not sure if we would drop into creating a knowledge base. It doesn't, I mean, my feeling is you don't have to search a file every time. Right. I don't know.
And I don't think memory is going to get us there either, because that's really the recollection of the conversation. And maybe I am just thinking different modalities, right? We have another product called Copilot Studio where you can templatize your responses, and it uses, I think it still uses the adaptive cards to be able to, so you format this thing that is your response. Now, adaptive cards are cool because they can, print things to the web or your phone, or it could be that there are speech blocks in there and it actually speaks the content back to you. There's all kinds of flexibility there, but I don't think we have a way to do adaptive cards inside of Foundry. I just did not search for it.
I like how it evaluated AI quality at 50%.
Because it passed on intent, but adherence failed.
So that's based on the evaluation that we set up earlier.
Well, so
right,
it's kind of not the evaluation. Okay. That evaluation happens whether you've come in here and done evaluations or not. Right,
okay,
that's part of the playground area, and being able to say, well, if I'm doing this, I at least want to know, is it getting the right intent, and is it sticking to the task once it finds out what the intent is? So those things kind of come along every time you have a conversation with your bot.
Okay, so you don't even have to create an evaluation.
Not for those, no.
In order for those to come out. Okay, all right. Definitely learning a lot here. Okay, so I mean, we got a lot done today. We changed the avatar, which I had never done actually, but did not change the voice.
I was trying to find you how to change the voice, and I don't see any. I know that TTS voice setting is what it is, like that Ava Neural.
Right. But then you got to know these.
You got to know the exactly, and that's what I couldn't find to give you. So I'm trying to pull together.
Right. You had mentioned something about how you got to deploy like an audio model, but I think Voice Live is managing all of that.
It is. It is. Yeah.
That's really cool. So I will say right now, I do want to get this code up on GitHub. People who see the video might be itching to do so. So notes to do that, notes to see that will be in the description, but there's a specific reason why it is not up there yet. I'm happy to share it, is that as this was being worked on, a commit went in with the speech key, which got leaked anyway. Thank you to the portal. The speech key was sitting in app settings instead of being as a user secret, an ASP.NET user secret.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to go remove that commit before it is pushed up to GitHub, or, you know, squash it, or however I'm going to deal with that. I have to rebase the repo. So once I do that, then I can get that up there. The other thing I need to do, in fact, listen, we talked about it. I'm not sure if we have another second real quick.
Yeah.
Is I would like to figure out how to change, since the key's already been exposed, I'd like to figure out how to change it, which I do not believe is in Foundry. I believe that I need to find the resource and say click. I don't know if it's click here to view endpoints and AI services. See, now I'm trying to remember. Were these the keys? Let me double check. Let me double check if they were. Because like I said, one of them was, people may not have noticed, but one of them was leaked while we were here talking. I clicked on one of the code windows in Foundry.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so that is not it. These are not the keys. Either that, or I may have crossed some streams here on accident when I was trying to figure out how to do this stuff. And it's entirely possible that the keys are in here. So I think you go to Foundry and then say view endpoints. So I'm in the Foundry, click here to view endpoints. Let me go check the keys again here. Ah, yes, that's what it is.
Cognitive services stuff.
Right. So I'm actually, how do I regenerate them? Regenerate the keys. Oh, yeah, there's a button to do it. Okay, cool. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show everybody exactly where this is and then regenerate them immediately, because why not, right?
Yeah.
So when you use the AI services, and if I say any of this incorrectly, let me know.
You're doing good.
Using AI services, you still have a Foundry resource that they're based on. Even if everything, or at least I haven't found it, is sitting in the portal. I don't know if there's another way to get to this spot. But when I click on, so this Foundry is in this resource group. And I think the reason this is all working fine is because none of this cares that the agent was in one resource group's Foundry, one Foundry in a different resource group, and that your text-to-speech services were in a Foundry in this resource group, because in one of our endpoints, in one of our pages, we're orchestrating all of that anyway.
Right.
So it doesn't care. So click here to view endpoints. Here are the keys. When you go to AI services and you get all of these AI services endpoints, this is what you end up copying into your app settings or your secrets, in order to basically, you can go get access to things like speech services and so on. Speech to text is sitting here, text to speech is sitting here, but the keys are here. So if everybody went back and they were really paying attention, they would see that this key was exposed. And so I'm going to hide it, and I'm going to regenerate both of them. And now my app doesn't work anymore until I go and fix the key. All right.
Yes.
I think we covered a lot. So hopefully that was a good introduction for folks. I understand that it's not maybe the code-based introduction that we're used to, but I hope enough breadcrumbs are there that you could either start working on it yourself, or give it a little bit and we'll get our current code into GitHub but it is code I definitely want to iterate on. I think it can be better.
Yeah. Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice time.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, it gets to be fun to order pizzas. And now I think, you know, I think we're close to wrapping this project and moving on maybe to another AI project. But
Yeah.
because I think for me, I don't know about you, the ideas have really been flowing now that we did this. Like, oh, wow, there's a lot we could
See
do.
all that, right?
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And that's part of why we do it. So we can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
what's out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, let us know how you're doing with Foundry, AI, LLMs, agents, anything. And if you have any advice or you saw something that I did that you say, hey, I wouldn't do it that way, or it turns out there's an easier way to solve something, or here's something else, another secret you exposed and didn't realize it, I would really appreciate it. But I do try to go and tear things down and after this anyway. Let us know in the comments. You can reach us all kinds of different ways here on YouTube. On Twitter, we're at the Dev Talk Show, and we are actually also on LinkedIn. And if we get enough followers, we can stream there. That would be great.
There you go.
So for Rich, I'm Chris, and we will see you all next time on the Dev Talk Show.